done. Intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. Well, we got through the intros. Everyone did their part. Good job, everybody. We did it. Thanks let's get into our first story.
I thought we were done.
No, let's get into our first story. We're going to be talking about The Acolyte. The Acolyte disaster for Disney. 3 episodes in by the time this is live streamed, and holy crap, the critics, the movie critics, are coming out in force for this film. 91% on Rotten Tomato from the critics, 31% from the audience score, and I think I remember this week it getting as low as like 28% or maybe 26%.
Yeah, it did drop down. I guess it went up for audience score, but the critics score, like you go through like half of the reviews and whatnot, and it's coming from reviewers and like publishers or sites and whatnot that like no one's ever heard of before. It's like you even like talk to like top reviewers, like I've never heard of them, never heard of them.
I mean, and then you have a legitimate audience score, and I was watching FNT the other day, and they were talking about, all of these new reviewers are coming out without even posting any comments. They just like put the review up. Yeah,
it's like a lot of them are like first time reviews too.
Yeah,
it's like I've never reviewed anything else, but
all of the bots.
Pretty much.
All of the bots. And you have people also. This happens with like every controversial show, I should say, that comes out, like Marvel, like Disney in general. It's like, I had a few problems here and there. I didn't like this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like 5 out of 5. It's like, what?
What?
You just said I didn't like
Perfect score. No issues with all these issues.
Flawless victory.
Yeah. So I actually did watch the first couple episodes, and the acting was fine. The lightsaber combat was better than, or whatever they were doing in there.
Oh, background. How many Star Wars shows have you watched?
Pretty much all of them.
Have you?
I think the only thing I didn't get through, and this is going to sound crazy because most of the people online like this the most, but Andor. I could not.
Andor's the best one.
I
didn't finish
hated
it either. But
I hated it.
You're one of the reviewers.
I hated it.
It's 5 out of 5.
You hated it?
I didn't like it at all. I got through like 5 or 6 episodes. I'm like, I don't know why people liked it.
You got into it.
I did. I was like, I'll just keep going because there was good reviews. But I watched
the best shot, best written. It's more mature than anything else Star Wars.
I agree. I couldn't get into it.
It's just, you kind of just don't care.
I've seen every single movie. I've seen all the animated, the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch.
Where is this rank in the Disney Star Wars universe?
I watched both The Mandalorian, the Boba Fett one. I watched Ahsoka. I've seen all of it. I've seen everything.
And you haven't shot yourself yet.
No, I liked most of the stuff.
I'm so proud of it.
I honestly, the only thing I really have not liked is Andor. I liked it. Ahsoka was fine.
You think Obi-Wan's better than Andor?
I did. I liked the Kenobi story. I didn't think it was perfect, but I liked it. Because I like Darth Vader and Ian McGregor a lot.
Struggled to get around a fence, and this whole time he could have just walked around it.
I know, right? I think my favorite content is actually
you're being a little too critical.
The Bad Batch.
You should give it a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
I'm a reviewer.
No, it's definitely better than like 7, 8, 9 movies. It's definitely better than that, but the CGI, they go over Coruscant, and it looks awful. It looks like
they only spent $180 million on the show.
There looks like there's
only
4 skyscrapers, and it's copied and pasted all over. And it's exactly same size skyscraper, and there isn't that many of them.
It looks like going over Taurus and
looks
fucking
terrible. It looks so bad.
An extra $1 million would have fixed the background.
And then there's this guy who's like a Jedi Master. And he's a younger like actor, so they put this beard on him. The beard looks like
Tomlin.
He's
Tomlin in Game of Thrones.
Ever, it looks so fake and cheap.
Because he's been meditating there for 10 years.
It's so bad. I mean,
yeah, but the dude's 26, and they're making him look like 46.
Yeah,
or something.
I mean, come on, it looks so bad. So the visuals just look terrible. The CGI looks terrible.
Tomlin and fucking.
The acting's decent to good enough, and the lightsaber combat's good enough. Yeah, they put like some beard on him, a really crappy looking beard, and he looks
Dude,
It looks
he's got a
terrible.
weird career
It's
so
Dude
far.
is
Terrible.
just repping the mewing over there.
No,
But yeah, I wouldn't recommend starting with this, or if you're a new Star Wars fan, go watch, the first like 6 movies, or even some of that. Like, I really like the animated stuff.
Look how beautiful.
Yeah,
look
it's-
how
beautiful it is,
terrible
guys.
it
Look how
is.
beautiful.
that dude's 26.
That's peak cinema.
It's so bad.
That's as good as we get right now in Hollywood.
Why is he all scarred up?
Why is he scarred 3 different directions over one eye?
Oh, he might have got hurt.
He got mauled by a.
Well, I just know he's been meditating for 10 years. That's all I know about
It's
him.
an asshole answer.
But it's the story writings can be intriguing. There's 2 twins who got kind of like separated, and now one's light, one's dark side.
What do you think about the twins, though? How they're, totally distant from each other, don't even know if each other are alive, but yet
Yeah, they
they
have
went
the same haircut.
they
I
went
saw
to
that
the same
critic.
barber.
I read that. I'm like, I didn't notice it right away, and then I saw someone review this just to like watch it, and he's like,
Okay.
yeah, they've never met each other, separated at birth, same haircut though. I'm like, that's a good point.
So while you're on Andor, while Andor's at the top of our minds here, real quick, there was an article from Vanity saying that the Acolyte joins Andor as another Star Wars success on Disney Plus. So
Well, it's
Clearly
kind of
not.
like any Marvel thing or whatever. It's like, oh, this is the best thing since the last thing that they dropped.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the
Good in
best Star Wars
comparison
since the
to-
last Star Wars.
Well, Andor's been out for a while. Isn't the last thing they dropped the Ahsoka series,
Yeah, there's been a few
or
series
even
in between.
the Mandalorian? Well, there's a Mandalorian movie coming out.
Mandalorian
right?
3 came out, I think, after Andor.
Yeah.
I think 2 might have.
That
too.
kind of started wearing me out too. I know we talked
But
about
it's
this,
like-
but it started being like fetch quest for the Mandalore instead of
Yeah,
actual.
I dropped out in episode 2 of season 2 of that
The first
show.
season and a half, he's like actual story, and then after that, it's like, I need you to get this for this, and it's like,
Go to
"Are
said
you handing
planet
me a
and do
fetch
this
quest
thing."
right now, ma'am? That's what I started feeling like.
Do you have a star above your head right now?
Yeah. What is
So
this?
Slim, you're caught up, right? You're like caught up on episode 3 of the show then?
No,
2.
3's not
You're
out
on
yet.
2.
I got 1 and 2
3's
done.
not out yet. It comes out Tuesday.
Okay,
I watched 1 and
gotcha.
2.
Can you tell?
So
So what's
it's like-
going on, like narratively in the story so far?
Spoilers.
Like what's going
I
on?
told you.
Spoilers.
No, I didn't hear you.
The two
Were you not paying
sisters
attention?
got separated at birth, and now one is being raised in the dark side by another dark Jedi we don't really see, and then one's on the light side, and they kind of meet.
They should do the fusion Hoth from Dragon Ball Z
It's-
to bring peace to the
There
Force.
was like
That's-
Jedi was murdered or whatever, and it's kind of like a
They're
detective
investigating.
story.
Yep.
Because I was just trying to, I
But-
was just trying to figure out what was going on
It can
besides like
be-
the story synopsis that's on IMDb.
It's just only 2 episodes out, so it's just intrigue right now.
But-
like he
Okay.
said, it
And
can be an interesting story if they do it right, but the CGI's got to improve.
I've heard from a lot of people
So
that
distracting.
episode 3 is like the apocalypse of the Star Wars universe. Like
Isn't
this ends everything. It changes everything about the universe. It's like
That's a terrible idea.
2 lesbians gave birth to the Force kind of thing.
classic.
Like they
And a
go
chicken
they
maker gay.
they go super hardcore into
I might just turn it off.
yeah, we'll see.
I'll go
Because
back to Dragon Ball Z.
everyone's like, yeah, one and 2 are
Goku's
just
playing
like
Frieza right now, so I got 40 more episodes of that.
everyone's saying episode 1 and 2 are just like, yeah, whatever, and then 3 kind of just destroys the entire
Ugh.
Star Wars universe, which they've been doing for years anyway.
I kind of don't
Yeah,
know
Disney
this.
did that a long
Doesn't
time ago.
doesn't this already kind of destroy some of the canon? Because in like episode 2 or 3, well, it would have been like
Well, it's
4
like,
or
you
5.
haven't
Didn't it be like no one's seen a
Sith
Sith
in
in
thousands-
2,000
yeah.
years? Like
So they're playing with that,
What?
but there was a fan-made film of Darth Maul, which I've shown talks. That was
Mhm.
like pretty good, but he ends up killing all the Jedi that find him. So it's like, all right,
yeah.
Darth Maul kind of.
That's what I was just trying to thinking, like, and this could be another thing, like, going against, if they write this correctly, of how the Jedi Council or the leads are, like, hiding stuff and not always
Yeah.
truthful. Something could happen.
The point of this show
Someone
is
could
to
get killed and
show
they could
the
cover it
Jedi
up.
as bad people too.
Yeah, so that's kind of what they're leaning to, is, like, the Jedi is not.
But this
all
story
what
was
it up to
written by former personal
fine.
personal
Could be good.
secretary to Harvey Weinstein, lesbian headlamp. And she basically is like written her and her sister into the story towards like her and her sister were estranged in real life, and now she just wrote it in the Star Wars universe. Is like it's self-input shit. over and
That's
over.
always
again.
good writing.
Yeah,
Slim,
yeah.
is that? I
Let
mean,
me
do you
put my
like
problems
Harvey
into that.
Weinstein? Is that why you like the show?
Yeah.
Do you like everything do you support? Do you co-sign?
Everything
he
that
did?
does, I try to mimic.
President.
That went above and beyond of what I thought it was gonna be.
No, I'm joking.
My hero.
Got a
Dude,
picture
it's
of him
just
on my
and
wall.
Cosby, man, I just love those.
Those guys. I got a cutout of him, a cardboard cutout, in my room.
I have a poster mounted to my ceiling.
Yeah.
Cuck him every day.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, now and then after Acolyte, you got the new Star Wars game coming out, Outlaws, which no one really gives a fuck about.
It had such good potential, and they
Yeah.
released a trailer, and everyone just hated it.
It
want
should have just
another
been a
Force
Han
Unleashed.
Solo game.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
A Force Unleashed game.
That would
Do
be
you guys remember
sweet
that
with
game
Star
at all?
Killer in
I
it.
just started playing it again.
Dude. Bring that.
They
shit
should.
back.
Yeah, Starkiller. I like Starkiller, but he breaks.
You can't. It
The
can't be
Force.
canon. You can't
I
be
don't
canon
care.
because
It's too much.
Well, that's fine. Just
That's
have a
the-
game where
that's
it's
the fun of it.
Yeah. It's
exactly.
Just, it's
Just
out,
make
it's
a game where
outside
it's not
of it.
canon
Yeah.
and just have fun with it for sure.
Like watching it. What is
Make
it in
games
that one
fun,
where
who
you
cares?
see Darth Vader bring down the fucking the big
Yep.
the big oh, dude.
It's sweet.
That is
It
like
hypes you.
peak power fantasy.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. I want make a show about that. It doesn't have to be canon. It just has to be cool.
It's just gonna be cool.
It just has to
Well,
be
for
cool.
one, you should put the guy. All right, so the guy that played Starkiller, Sam Witwer or whatever,
Yep.
he also voices Darth
He
Maul
sure
in
does.
the
He's
Clone Wars.
fucking cool ass
Dude.
shit.
But
Yeah.
he knows more about Star Wars than Dave Filoni, which is currently running it. It's
Yeah.
like, just put Sam in the fucking...
lead.
Yeah,
Put him
put
in the
him in the
driver's seat.
lead.
This
Put
is
him in the
funny we're
driver's seat,
talking
let him
about
go.
this because I just watched an interview with him and he was like talking about how he voice acted for Starkiller. And he's like, yeah, I was doing my meditating because I was like, oh man, putting the lightsaber together. And the
Right.
actor stopped him. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, why are you so angry? He's like, what else would he know?
Yeah.
He's the dark side. Vader would teach him. The Force is mine to wield.
Fuck,
I
man.
own the
Like,
Force.
He
Dude.
wouldn't be peaceful doing
He's
it.
like,
Yeah.
he wouldn't meditate. I'm like, yeah, that's
Dude,
fucking
it's,
great.
like that's
He knows
I
the
love
world.
that.
Oh.
Like that's what I look at how excited we are talking about that versus this shit.
Yeah,
that's
it's-
my point.
Well, or like Henry Cavill's commitment to like the Warhammer project. Like
Yeah.
put people who are passionate and give them the tools they need to succeed. Obviously,
Absolutely.
the
And you
Warhammer's
can
an entirely
tell-
different topic we've gone over already before.
You
But I'm
can
just
tell
saying.
they care because like you could see it even like in his interview, like how he just cares about it.
Right.
Like when he
Yeah.
walks away from The Witcher because it's not
Exactly.
Or
Or
he's-
like
that
you can
passion's
he
there.
is passionate about keeping it true.
Yeah.
and fucking good.
Or Sam is talking about Darth Maul and Obi-Wan's like last duel, just over
yes,
the campfire.
that is a sweet interview.
It's where he's like describing Obi-Wan's movements. He's
Yep.
like, he went into this style, and then
He's like,
you realize,
no.
no, that was wrong. That's how we did it the first time or whatever.
and that I'm not that old Jedi anymore.
Right.
Then he goes to Ben Kenobi and he's like, no, this isn't right, and he tricks him to go back to Qui-Gon Jinn.
Right.
Oh, it's sweet.
And then, yeah, it tricks Darth Maul into using the same attack that he
Yep.
used to kill Obi-Wan with.
Yeah,
It's
'cause-
like, it's the small details in storytelling like that.
He was talking about how that or the battle on Mustafar with Obi-Wan and Anakin, but one of those two are the best lightsaber duels. It might be extremely quick and done, but that dance him and Maul do, and like
They're
how they're
just like,
reading
yeah.
each other.
Well,
and
I was just
how-
watching a video of a guy that watches the action in like the Star Wars films
Yep.
and stuff, and it was the one where Rey and
Kylo Ren.
Kylo, and you watch the stunt doubles while they start doing 360 spins to give them more time to get into position, and you watch the action slow down, like when they like break
Yeah,
it down.
it's
The
terrible.
choreography is
Well, they're using...
so bad. That's why I got out of it. I can't watch it.
It's so bad, and you like go back if you ever like seen how Ian McGregor and
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen
Yeah.
like practice
Practice and practice.
and they're going just
They're
at
using
it.
like these steel rods
and they
and
break
just going
them,
at
and
each
they're
other.
just swinging them as hard as they can.
Yeah.
Like we practice
You don't
for
get
like
that
6
anymore.
hours a day, every day for a month straight to
I'm
get
gonna
this
show
down.
you Kylo Ren, and I'm gonna word it out for the audience. You put your right hand up, and you swing down to your left leg.
and that's it.
thought
And
we
then
were
you
dancing.
yell,
Just
and
no-
then you go straight up,
no
and go down to your right
passion.
leg, and you go ha.
It's because they're also using like actual like fucking lightsabers that you buy at Disneyland or some
Yeah.
shit. They're like they glow up and shit. They want it for like the ambient light that you get off of lightsabers.
CGI
but it
is
just
so
takes,
good nowadays.
But yeah, it just
Yeah.
takes
Just make it
away
fucking
from the
good.
fight.
It's not hard.
It's like you're swinging bats at each other.
Yeah, and
dude.
you know they could have leaned in so hard to make that lightsaber combat. You wouldn't have to change the combat if they didn't lean into so hard or that these two were masters or good. You could have been like, these two don't know shit.
Yeah,
You know, Luke could have been like, you don't know anything, you shouldn't go, and their combat could have been slow and shitty because they're not trained.
But we were
Right.
told like
They were
they're
told
the
they were-
fucking future, man.
you
They
could have
are
been
the-
like, no, you're a Padawan, you're awful, and then you could see that and you're like, yes, this is how you would be if you weren't trained.
But then you watch them just fuck everyone up. They're
Yeah, you
so
get-
powerful.
you
They're
get-
so good.
You
It's
get to
like,
the Revenge of the Sith with Obi-Wan and Anakin fight, and it's like it's insane.
dude, it's so
And like
good.
I've seen a video where the guy breaks that down. It's like that's a master and his apprentice knowing each other so well and trying to counter each
fighting
other
with
and
each
fight
other
each
for
other.
10
Yes.
Like
You don't
that
get-
one move
that's
they
what
do where
takes
they're
me out of
just
the
swinging
movies.
in front of each other, not hitting each other. That move is to repost if someone hits you, and then Anakin comes in and tries to repost that, and that's why they're
They
doing
both
that.
get into
They're
it, yeah.
trying to repost each other and make someone make a move,
yeah.
and it's
It's
really
legit.
cool.
It's not.
Yeah.
One, it looks cool, but it's a
Yeah.
legitimate strategy.
And-
versus
And he broke down. I watched another video. He broke down with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Maul, and you could see how the master and the apprentice were working together, and it shows like it slows down where Qui-Gon like goes in for a strike, but then backs up, and then Obi-Wan comes from behind him and swings at him. It's like their relationship is working together. I'm like, that's
And,
just
and
straight
also
up
their
action
and also
from
their
the director.
personalities come out in that just
Yeah.
one moment to where like Obi-Wan's more like reserved, or not Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon's
Qui-Gon.
more reserved and whatnot, and Obi-Wan's
Rushing
a
in,
young
yeah.
Padawan
Yep.
that's
Yep. It's
fiery and kind
thinking
of wants
he
to
can
get in.
do it. Yes,
It's
I
just the
got. I
passion.
can. You know.
It's like I know my Padawan's gonna come in.
You don't get that anymore. That's why after the first is it Force Unleashed? What the first one with Rey?
Yeah.
That-
After I saw that, I was
I've-
done.
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
I've been done with-
I haven't watched a Star Wars since because it just.
I've only truly appreciated the animates, and that's with Clone Troopers.
There are
That's
good stuff.
yeah,
That stuff's
there's
good.
good stuff in the Clone
Bad
Wars,
Batch
Yeah.
and Clone Wars.
Yeah.
especially the last half of the last season.
Yeah,
That's some
it's
good ass
really,
shit.
It's really good.
So,
When you get Ahsoka versus Darth Maul too. It's like,
So-
oh,
That's
good.
sick, dude.
Slim, what's your thoughts on this article that we have in front of us here? So, financial analyst calls Star Wars The Acolyte's global viewership pathetic and explains that only about 3% of Disney
Wow,
Plus subscribers
that's
watch.
low.
You are the most marginalized person in this room.
You're the 3%.
I'm part of the 3%.
You're a 3%er. Get him.
We're gonna
you're
get
not
you a
pa-
shirt.
You're not part of the 3%.
I-
You are.
I yeah, that's all me.
You are the 3%.
You know, I'm kind of surprised with how liked Mandalore was, that this didn't grab people more.
Well, people dropped off at the Mandalorian.
That's true.
I
Hard.
haven't even watched. I've watched 2 or 3 episodes of season 1.
I haven't seen the last season because I dropped out.
It also
too.
doesn't
And then,
help
like,
that if
people
before the
weren't-
show started, they were already attacking the fandom. They were already calling
They
people.
preemptively tagged.
They
the
did
fandom.
a preemptive strike on the
like,
fandom.
you're sexist
they have
and
it.
racist.
They have it coming. It's if you're not gonna make good stuff and make,
Well, they kind
that's what
of
you have coming to you.
they fucked up to where it's saying like it's so hard being a female director or creative in this Star Wars space that is mostly dominated by men. And it's like, all right, so you just admitted that's dominated by men, but then in all the other interviews and whatnot, you're just like, yeah, no, men and women love it. We're making the Force female, blah blah
We
blah.
like to make men feel uncomfortable.
You're
Oh,
right.
that's 98% of our audience. Huh.
Weird.
Weird. How only 3% people watch this?
It's like it's so hard for us.